Breaking tonight, a major shift in the US-China tech fight. Welcome back to Dr. Dan's channel, where we break down geopolitics the way it actually works. Power, interests, leverage, and consequences. Today's brief, Trump lifts limits on advanced AI chips to China. If you're new here, glad you're with us. If you're a regular, you already know the routine. We don't do wishful thinking, we do realism. Because today's story isn't just about semiconductors. It's about a great power making a move that, according to John Mearsheimer's framework, looks a lot like strategic retreat, dressed up as policy. 1. The 48-hour shock. The chip door opens in the last 48 hours, a decision landed that could change the trajectory of great power rivalry. It's the kind of move strategists mark as an inflection point. The Trump administration reversed export controls and approved sales of advanced Nvidia H200 AI chips directly to China. Let that land. The US just handed China what this entire tech war was designed to deny. The most powerful artificial intelligence hardware on Earth. The same category of technology Washington spent years restricting. And the question becomes unavoidable. Why would America surrender its greatest technological advantage? Through the realist lens, the answer is brutal. The tech war strategy didn't adjust. It collapsed. Corporate pressure beat national security. Short-term profits beat long-term competition. Wall Street won. America lost. Mearsheimer's framework treats this as an inflection point in US-China competition. The technological containment strategy is finished, and China got what it needed voluntarily. This isn't fine-tuning, it's capitulation. 2. The bigger context, trade war pain, farm bailouts, and leverage lost. Now here's the dimension that makes this even more revealing. This chip reversal is happening in a broader landscape of trade war blowback. President Trump has promised a $12 billion bailout for American farmers caught in the crosshairs of the trade war with China. He calls them the backbone of the country. But in the Midwest, his trade policies have produced months of pain. Soybeans are America's #1 agricultural export, and China had been the #1 buyer. But no more. There was hope that a deal struck in October, involving rare earth minerals, would persuade China to buy American beans again. But the reality was harsher. China promised to buy 12 million metric tons of soy. And as of last week, it had bought less than a quarter of that. And as American farmers got frozen out, their rivals in Argentina started making real money. Here's another pressure point. Trump's decision to back his friend Javier Milei with a $20 billion support package, angering parts of his base who see it as a direct hit on America first. So here's the pattern. A trade strategy that was supposed to increase leverage, instead produced bailouts at home, lost markets abroad, and political pressure to soften the fight. And then we hit the second flashpoint. Chips. The chip concession, with a 25% cut to the state export controls once banned advanced chips to China. Now, the administration has approved sales of higher caliber Nvidia H200 processors to China, with 25% of proceeds going to the state. That detail matters, because it shows the move isn't framed as an accident. It's structured, approved, and monetized. And it collides directly with the national security logic Washington has been selling for years. That advanced AI compute is essential not just for business, but for military applications, surveillance systems, autonomous weapons development. This is why many lawmakers, including Republicans, are worried China is too far ahead in the AI race. They want more restrictions, not fewer. So even inside the United States, the coalition behind containment is splitting. National security hawks say tighten, corporate power says sell. Political pressure says don't crash the economy. This is exactly the kind of internal contradiction realism predicts. 4. Why containment failed. The 4 pressures that broke it. The original strategy was simple. Export controls, sanctions, restrict advanced chips. The goal was clear. Deny China the towering AI advantage needed to close the gap. But the strategy rested on an assumption that was always fantasy. that corporations would prioritize national interest over profit. They won't. Corporations serve shareholders. Shareholders demand returns. And China is a massive market. Containment collapses for 4 reasons. First, corporate lobbying overwhelms national security. Tech giants spend huge money shaping policy. Second, enforcement is extremely difficult. Supply chains root around restrictions. Intermediaries facilitate transfers. Smuggling networks flourish. Third, restrictions accelerate the rivals' self-sufficiency. China invests billions into domestic production. Fourth, allies don't fully cooperate. European and Asian firms fill gaps. Unilateral containment cannot hold in a globalized economy. And the US achieved the worst possible outcome. Restrictions motivated Chinese innovation, while punishing US corporate revenues until corporate pressure forced reversal. China's side of the story. State-of-the-art robotics, chips still behind, and a strategic opportunity. China is pushing self-sufficiency while integrating AI across its economy. Its robotics are state-of-the-art, but China's domestic chips are still behind America, and that creates a tension inside China. Companies are desperate to access new Nvidia components, while Chinese authorities want innovation sparked at home. From Mearsheimer's perspective, this is where Beijing's strategy looks rational. When the US restricted technology, China invested domestically. When restrictions leaked, China exploited gaps. When American corporations lobbied for reversal, China waited. Time favored patience, and the ultimate leverage was American corporate appetite for the Chinese market. The alliance shockwave. Europe watches the US shift and learns a lesson about credibility, sacrifice, and future cooperation. Final dimension: alliance credibility. Washington's latest national security strategy takes a cooler tone toward Europe and criticizes partners on Ukraine and migration. And in an interview with Politico, Trump doubled down, attacking Europe's leadership and making remarks suggesting Russia is in a stronger position. It gets sharper. He compared President Zelensky to P.T. Barnum, implying the idea of selling things that don't work, suggesting Ukraine sold the White House on backing. He attacked European cities and specifically attacked London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, using harsh personal language. He signaled comfort endorsing right-wing or far-right parties in Europe. A former EU ambassador warns that lines were crossed. Direct interference in political processes, endorsing fringe parties, some anti-European and some even anti-democratic. And importantly, this posture is described as consistent with other administration voices, including reference to J.D. Vance's Munich Security Conference tone. Why does this matter for the chip story? Because alliances require sacrifice, and sacrifice requires trust. If allies restrict tech exports, reduce market access, absorb costs, and then Washington reverses course and sells anyway, those allies learn a lesson. Don't sacrifice again. Allies that limited market access for containment are unlikely to do it again. That's not turbulence, it's strategic erosion. 7. The realist verdict. That is not strategy, that is surrender. According to Mearsheimer's framework, this is the hard lesson. Great powers cannot contain great powers indefinitely, especially when internal interests conflict with strategy. Farm bailouts, lost soy markets, corporate lobbying, alliance skepticism, and now advanced AI chips flowing legally to China, with a 25% cut to the state. China gains advanced capability. American corporations gain quarterly profits. America loses long-term strategic advantage. That is not strategy. That is surrender. Thanks for watching Dr. Dan's channel. If this breakdown helped you see the bigger picture, hit like, subscribe for more geopolitics explained through realism. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive, and drop a comment, because I want your take. Was this a smart trade-off or a historic strategic mistake? See you in the next video.